hadn't heard, Tijuana is making a comeback. After a dozen or so painfully dead years for downtown businesses, customers are returning. New restaurants, bars, and boutiques are opening up around Tijuana's main tourist strip, Avenida Revolucion. And many of them cater to a crowd that's looking for something other than sombreros and cheap margaritas.
This is the corner of Séptima and Constitución. This is an old building that was remodeled recently by the owner.
Genaro Valladolid is one of downtown Tijuana's biggest boosters, and he's determined to prove that the owner here made a good investment.
The corner is going to be a restaurant. It's going to be a sushi bar and a fusion cooking with a local chef named Moisés Arredondo.
On the second floor are 12 brand new apartments, 3 of them the kind of hip industrial lofts that rent for at least $1,500 in downtown San Diego. Here, Josue Castro pays a third that price.
This is Josue. How you doing, Josue?
Castro is an artist who lives in San Diego most of the time and works both north and south of the border. The loft he rents here functions as a workspace / classroom / party venue / crash house for visiting artists.
And the beauty is that you are walking distance to everything, here in downtown. You have stores, you have the meat shop, you have the hair stuff, everything, you have it around,
Downtown Tijuana has a lot of what San Diego's downtown lacked before redevelopment started there in the 1980s. Restaurants, grocery stores, abundant public transportation, but it also shares many of downtown San Diego's former problems, among them a seedy reputation and a dearth of decent housing. Apartments here tend to be old, decrepit, and overcrowded. Many houses are falling apart. And there's really only one park in all of Tijuana's Centro, an area made up of about 300 city blocks. It got this way just like most American cities did around the middle of the 20th century. People moved out to the suburbs, businesses and government offices followed. Plus, Tijuana's downtown has an extra problem, an outsized dependence on American tourists.
It used to be given to us, just like people will come. People will come, you don't have to do anything at all. People will always come. Well, they haven't been coming for the last 15 years. And on top of that, people in Tijuana aren't coming at all.
Pedro Sanchez is a fifth-generation Tijuanense whose family has owned businesses downtown for more than a century.
It used to say Jorge Ives.
He heads the Downtown Business Trust, something like a business improvement district, which got started last year. Their first big victory was to get the government to donate a prime piece of downtown land to the trust. Their hope is to develop it and sell or rent out the space, ideally to some government entity that would bring in steady foot traffic and employees who might want to live near the office. Then the trust could reinvest the proceeds in more downtown projects. Sanchez also wants to see at least one new housing project, like the lofts, go up each year, and he'd like downtown to have at least one more park. In the not-so-sexy portfolio, improvements are badly needed, he says, to the sewer system and electrical grid. Of course, all of this requires money.
There's no money. I mean, that's the reality of it. We're gonna get there, but we're gonna get there on our terms and slowly, because we still have to work on the details.
The artists and young entrepreneurs who are recolonizing the city's core don't seem to be letting details get in their way. Besides his loft, Josue Castro has a small gallery and a tiny brewery in one of the covered arcades that branch off from Avenida Revolucion. But Castro knows how this downtown redevelopment thing works. When the place gets trendy, he may get priced out.
Like always, it's like in LA, Downtown LA now it's super expensive, and a couple of years, nobody wants to live in downtown LA. The same thing happened in Soho, in London, everywhere, I think that's something that we artists are always, we know that is going to happen, You are the ones to start bringing the people, and then people like the spaces like this.
For now, he's thoroughly enjoying the pioneer life. Jill Replogle, KPBS News.